Hi guys, so I literally get hundreds of messages from people since I've been involved with BV2, Carl Rod here. I literally get hundreds of messages, people asking me, where do you live, where are you from, you know, how is it you look so cool, stuff like that. Okay, that's not, none of that is true, I get no messages at all, but I thought I'd best tell everyone where I live, isn't it? So this is where I live, Rugby Town. So first stop off on my tour of rugby, the whole thing that's made this town famous, with the exception of the fact that I live here, is this chap. There he is, let's get him right. Whoa. William Webb Ellis. So I'm outside rugby school, just in front of me there, and that chap there, William Webb Ellis, he basically picked up a football and run with it back in 1823. So basically he was cheating, and he became a reverend as well, so he became a man of the cloth. But there he is, William Webb Ellis, and here we are outside rugby school, where the whole game, both rugby league and rugby union, was founded by this cheating chap here. Let's go and have a look where it all started. So as we're walking along to rugby school, just behind me here you can see some of the school as we're walking around. So the school itself was founded in 1567, so it's a really old school. It's one of the top fee-paying schools in the United Kingdom. If you wanted to go here, you best have £12,700 a term. Basically, it's around £40,000 a year to send your kids to this school. So I've had a look on the dark web, and I think you can get £50,000 for your liver. So you can sell a human liver for £50,000, which will roughly cover you for a term and a half, a year and one term. So if you want your kid to go there, you best find 4 livers, I reckon. If not, the other schools are just around the corner. Okay, so just behind me here you can see the Crescent. So this is behind rugby school, which is just there. The Crescent was the birthplace of the game. That's where William Webb Ellis picked the rugby ball up and basically run with it. He didn't go on the bus, he should have, but yeah, he basically picked the ball up and ran along down there with the rugby ball, or football as it was, and got chased by 35 Ruperts and Tartwins, basically inventing the game that we all now love. Here I am on my way to show you some of the other unique features of the town of Rugby. So Rugby Town, here I am right in the middle of it. It's famous for a number of things. Obviously its attachment to the game of rugby. Right behind me here you can see the Hall of Fame. So it's the World Rugby. There it goes, World Rugby there. So World Rugby's cited the Global Hall of Fame right here in the town centre, the birthplace of the game. All the famous people from around the world of rugby have been here to be indoctrinated into it, or whatever they've gone, dentured, whatever they call it, add their names and stuff put in there. So we've had Campese here, we've had Maggie Alfonso, we've had Johnny Wilkinson, loads of people have come through here. So yeah, pretty excited to have that in the town. So here I am in picturesque Dunchurch. So Dunchurch here, just on the outskirts, a village on the outskirts of Rugby Town. Dunchurch is reputedly famous for Guy Fawkes stopping here with some court conspirators on the way down to the Houses of Parliament to blow it up, basically. So Guy Fawkes passed through here, he stopped in Dunchurch, held a meeting with his court conspirators and headed down to the Houses of Parliament to blow it up, which I for one am glad he didn't do, because had they blown the Houses of Parliament up, then what would they have on the front of HP bottles? They just wouldn't be the same, would it, without that. So, bye Dunchurch. So every city and town around the world has its landmarks. London's got Big Ben, Paris has got the Eiffel Tower, even the Angel of the North on the way to Newcastle. Here in Rugby, we have Rugby Cement. The tower's visible from all over the place. What a beautiful landmark. So just behind me here, you can see the Prince of Wales pub. Hey, they're everywhere, aren't they? So one of the unique features of the town is that they have a number of floor plates dotted around. Look, let's have a look what we've got here. So this is Gavin Hastings, Scotland. So this is by Rugby Cement, our history, our heritage. So they're celebrating the game, we walk along. There's another one here, JPR Williams of Wales. Go on JPR, lovely. There's Bill McLaren of Scotland, just there. Bill McLaren, McLachlan, I'll even get it right, and Wavell Wakefield, nobody's ever heard of him, of England. But there you go, they dotted all around the town, guys. There's 4 in a row just outside the Hall of Fame, but they're dotted all around the town. It's one of the unique features of Rugby Town. So while we're in Rugby, why don't we go and have a look at all the clubs that are in the town and have a quick chat about what rugby clubs are in Rugby. First up on the tour is one of only three, I believe, exile clubs, Welsh exile clubs in England. The first of which is obviously the famous London Welsh. The second of which is actually not that far from here at all, which is Coventry Welsh. And the third exile club is based right here in our town, and it's called Rugby Welsh. As you just saw on the sat nav there, Rugby Welsh play out of Alwyn Road, so named after Adam Jones's dad. So Alwyn Road is where Rugby Welsh play. Now Rugby Welsh has a connection to our valley. Some of you might not be aware, but both Philip Tippins from Abercraf, Stroke Hopkin, and my good self have played for Rugby Welsh and had a number of appearances for them back, God knows so many years ago. But Phil was playing a bit more, managed to get up and play a bit more than I did, but I certainly had a season or two with them as well. So they had a great season 2018-2019, which saw them got promoted up a league. Quite a well supported club. Certainly they're fielding a first team and more recently now a second team again, so they've picked up in terms of their numbers, etc. Well coached setup there, but also a club that's steeped in tradition. Many of you back home won't know, but certainly in the Midlands, certainly Coventry and Rugby both have Welsh communities, hence the Rugby Welsh and Coventry Welsh teams. These predominantly come up here to work in all of the kind of industrial units, in the factories up here with GC and a number of other big industrial employers in the Midlands. People moved up here from Wales to find work, basically. Now, that's never more evident than when Wales play England, or during the 2015 World Cup, which was based, there was a fan zone based in Rugby, and when Wales played England, there were as many Welsh jerseys in the fan zone as there were English jerseys, which was pretty amazing. Okay guys, we'll move on to the next club. So here I am at another one of the town's rugby clubs, Old Laurentian RFC, based out of Fenley Fields here, no trespassing. Clearly that's what I'm doing. As you can see, we've got a great setup here. They've locked the gates there to stop any travellers coming in, because we've had issues with them recently over the last couple of weeks. Old Laurentians, good solid rugby club in the area, pretty high performing, actually always up in the leagues, always competitive, a very, very strong mini and junior section. They've got a very good setup. You can't see the clubhouse there, but it's a proper traditional clubhouse in the area. Like it's one like we would relate to back home in Wales. It's full of carpets and jerseys on the wall and stuff. It's a proper traditional clubhouse. So that's Old Laurentians. So next on my rugby tour is Rugby Lions. So Rugby Lions are based right in the centre of town, just off aptly named Webb Ellis Road. So Rugby Lions play off out of Webb Ellis Road here. This is their grounds. Rugby Lions founded in 1873, so very, very early on in the journey of rugby football. Interesting fact about Rugby Lions are one of only 4 teams in England that are permitted to wear the all-white strip. So no other teams can wear them apart from these 4. So the first of which is obviously the English national team. They're permitted to wear obviously the all-white, so white top, white shorts and white socks. Second is Rugby School, which we'll go and see a bit later. I don't think we have seen. Yeah, we'll go and see a little bit later. Rugby School, which was where the game was founded. Third is St Paul's in London, so that's the third team. And the fourth team that's permitted to wear it is Rugby Lions. So these are the only 4 clubs in England allowed to wear the all-white strip. Rugby Lions had mixed fortunes. At one stage were probably the strongest club in the town. For a number of years, Neil Back famously coached here after his World Cup success. So the club was attracting some of the best talent around the area. Some big names come to play for the club. Played at a very high standard in the English league system. I think it was 2nd or 3rd tier of the English system, which was pretty spectacular really for a town of its size. And then went on to do some pretty great things, but unfortunately hit hard times, had a lot of demise, and yeah, it's working its way now. It's still playing at a good standard, but probably not where it was. So let's go and take a look at another one of the town's famous rugby clubs. I'm here at GEC Rec. Let's have a look at Aei RFC. So I'm on the GEC ground here, which is the home of Aei Rugby, one of the other town's rugby clubs. So just behind me there you can see the post. Let's bring it back. There you go. There's the posts, there's the pitch. The GEC recreational ground, named after GEC, who were one of the biggest employers in the area. And as was with the Times, employers hosted their own rugby teams. So Aei were born out of the back of that. So lovely pitch they got here. We trained on it the other day because we were travellers and hours. But yeah, so this is Aei Rugby, very social team these. They don't play in the leagues, or they play in the kind of merit table, we'd call it back home. A real social group of lads. A lot of players from other clubs come here as well when they're done with all the competitive stuff and they just want to play a good quality social rugby with a crazy bunch of men. And here I am to my second from last club, Newbold-on-Avon RFC. So Parkfield Road, this is where Newbold RFC play. Newbold, arguably the strongest club in the town, plays Mids 1, Mids 1 West. Rugby Lions are Mids 1 East, but Newbold probably are the strongest club. Certainly they attract the strongest players from the town to come here at some point in their journey. Phil Tippins, I think, did play here as well. He's played a few games here. I've never played on, I think I played here myself against their seconds when I was with Rugby Welsh. Never played against the first team here. I have played for Andrews. I played for St Andrews one game 2 seasons ago, so that was probably my only proper, apart from Rugby Welsh, my only other team I played for in the town, competitively first team rugby, and that was a 1 game wonder against Barker Butts. People who might watch this from St Andrews RFC, keep mum guys, I'm still haven't recovered. So yeah, so Newbold RFC. Now there's an interesting feature of this pitch that lots of people don't know, but it's Newbold-on-Avon because the River Avon just runs all the way along there out the back. Now what happens in high water, when there's been lots and lots of rain, this pitch doubles very, very nicely as an outdoor swimming pool, and there's been kayaks and everything on here, which is a unique feature. So Newbold are not just very good rugby players, they're very good swimmers too. Let's go and look at the last club, shall we? Well, the final leg of my tour of the rugby clubs of Rugby Town is Rugby St Andrews RFC. It's on Hill Morton grounds just off Tom Allison Road. So here we are on Hill Morton grounds. Here's the first team pitch, there's the changing rooms. This is where I coached the men, I coach kids on a Sunday morning. This is where my lads play. They've got 3 fields, they've got a real nice setup here, they have, to be fair. The club itself plays a reasonably decent standard. It's got a good set of social, it's got a good social scene, picking up new players all the time. I enjoy the club, the first club to welcome me back actually. When I came back to rugby I was looking for a club, and I went on to a couple of the other clubs I've shown today. This is the first gang. JP, who's John Parsons, he's a fellow Taff. He was the chairman at the time, and he managed to induce me with his Kimler accent to come here and learn how to play rugby. Now if you just look behind me here, I'm just going to show you another interesting fact, but just at the bottom there, you won't be able to see it now, there's a gate. And on bank holiday weekends, we were fortunate enough to bag ourselves some travellers who managed to break in, and they set a lovely setup here. It was much like Treacle Bay in Swansea. They managed to get in, set themselves up really, really lovely, and stayed over the bank holiday weekend. But they're away now, so if there are any more travellers looking for a good destination, this probably isn't a great place for you. Try one of the other fields that we just went to have a look at. Right, let's crack on. Well, thank you so much for joining me on my tour of rugby. I've shown you all the delights we've had. Hopefully I'll save you all a trip now. You don't have to spend any money coming up here because I've shown you the best that we've got. But make sure you tune into BV2's podcast. If you don't follow us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook. Why not, please? Stick stuff in the comments because it's fun. Tag your mates if they're from rugby. Tag your rugby club in if I've mentioned them. It's worth it, isn't it? I've been kind to everyone. But tag them, spread it, share it, do whatever you want to do. If I can get up to 5,000 views, do you know what? That'll be bigger than Shakey's, and I'll feel very pleased about that. Okay, see you on Monday. BV2, guys.